Yeah, you welcome to this shit. This is make a phone, baby. This is it. This is it. Come on, give a shit.
So the first song that
She's
comes to
triggering
mind-
everyone's misophonia.
The first song that comes to my mind is "I Can't Help It" by Michael Jackson. I can't squish it if I wanted to. I can't squish it even if I can't squish it. If I wanted to, I can't squish it. No.
I used to cover that song. That's funny. I love that. That's a good. That is a good one for that. That fits
Nice
well.
one, Katie.
I got you. I was ready for that. I was ready for that. That was a good. I feel like that was good. That was a good one. We should do that again. Just finish eating them.
Oh my goodness. I thought of another one, but it's one of mine. Everything is something else.
Squishify one of your songs, but then we need to know what it is.
But then we need to know it.
We'll sit here and do ooh-ahs.
Yeah, we'll be your backup vocals.
Now I'm thinking of Paradise. Paradise is a paradox.
Now squish.
Now squish.
Me.
Listen.
Squish me, listen.
Okay, let me think of something with like a nice hook. I just want another minute with it. Fuck a little. What's the use? Ding 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 ding. Super never squish official. A little sentimental when I'm off the squish.
I do get sentimental when I'm off the squish.
Yeah.
So I don't get
Okay.
squished enough. Sediments be coming out.
This is hard. I got double protein, bro.
Oh yeah, anytime you ask them for double meat, they don't fuck around. They take that shit seriously.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Love
Help
my
yourself
protein.
to things too. Okay.
You switched up on my.
Yeah. Now, that's right. Come on. I'ma never come down.
Woo! You might.
Never squish down.
Live for too long
to
to get
squish
there.
this high up.
The
The squish.
Don't play it.
Let's squish a while.
I love it. TK's in my head. Is this one.
Can't squish it,
TK
can't
prepared to
squish it,
squishify.
can't squish it with the
Yes,
big
I
fat
did.
I love it.
I'm sorry, guys.
You had to eat. You came straight from
Yeah.
work. I get it.
How you feeling?
We're good. We're grounding.
Take a deep breath.
I feel like we could do our harmonies a little bit more justice. And I'm like, what is a beautiful...
I think we can go with I Can't Squish It.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
one.
Katie knows
That one works well.
I can't squish
The
it.
one we did to start with.
I
Michael
can't
Jackson.
squish it. If I wanted to, I can't squish it. Even if I could, I can't squish it. If I wanted to, I can't squish it. No, can't squish it. If I wanted to, wouldn't squish it. Even if I could, I can't squish it.
Girl, I love you.
What was that?
That was-
Ad lib?
Ad libs. Ad libs on the That's the ad lib
I got
courtesy of Red Barn.
I'm doing it.
Red Barn Market was
as
like,
a
I wanna be
moral
on this
support.
track.
The extra protein come back to haunt me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, I'm not gonna introduce you. No, under my
Yeah.
You're
Anyway,
worthy.
TK the artist, welcome to Squish Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you, Tasha,
Very, very
for
happy to
having
have
me.
you. Thank you guys for coming all the way
My
out here.
tactic to disarm you
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
ground you and make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, who feels awkward
I
when
feel-
we're
I
eating
feel
a
amazing
double
right
meat
now.
sandwich before we hang out?
I got the bacon, the turkey,
Yeah.
the melon in my mouth. We're sitting on the couch and we're just hanging out. I got the bacon in my toes, my nose and my hair.
That's
Oh
the
my God,
double
the
meat'll do to
bacon is
you.
fucking everywhere.
Double
Welcome,
meat'll do that.
TK. We're so stoked to have you.
Heck yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
reached out and I was like, yes, finally, yes. Finally.
Yes, I've watched a couple of episodes.
I love it.
the vibe.
It's just so
Especially
fun.
the Sasha one.
The Sasha one was a vibe.
Hit
We were
hard.
super
Heavy.
intentional that we were very like, I love getting real like that with homies. It feels so
Mhm.
nice just to connect on that level with community.
Sasha is such a special human.
He is. He's such a wonderful.
I think
human.
like I realized that at the his what was it called?
the fundraiser thing.
The fundraiser
Mhm.
thing. It's like wow, like he has a whole community of people that love him, and that's like the whole point of life.
That is the point of
You
life.
know
Yeah.
what I mean? If I was
dying today. That's it.
You
That's
think about
you
it,
know
yeah.
what
I'm like,
saying?
we just gotta roll out for each other, and I think that's a good thing our community, our arts community, is real good at is showing up for each other and doing that kind of thing real good.
Yeah,
Asking
people showed up for him for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
That was that was quite the turnout.
I'm like, you get what you give, and that man gives a lot. And I feel like there's a lot of people that aren't afraid, like we were talking with Danny, just like to love big and to ask to
Feel
be loved
deep.
big.
It's
like give what you deserve. And I feel there's something that comes with the West Coast like hippie vibe that is really in touch with their emotions. It can get taken a little bit too far, in my opinion. Obviously anything can, but there's been a lot of work done, I feel like, in this community to just be like intentional and to just be like real and to like honor where you're at, and then in that you do the self-work that helps you be a better community member. And I feel like there's a lot of accountability on the island too, because it's an island and we're like all stuck together.
Plus, I'm all for the West Coast hippie vibe, bro. Honestly, like.
Yeah, you're a hippie at heart.
I feel like the West Coast hippie vibe
yeah,
and
because
island
what's
time are
wrong
the
with that?
yeah.
No.
There's
What's
nothing
wrong
with
with
it,
wanting
yeah.
to have community and have peace?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like more people in the world should be at peace.
That's it, yeah.
There'll be less wars. There'll be less stupid shit.
And the more we engage in community, the more we understand people who are different from us, and that's a big part of bridging those gaps between people. Is people just don't know. They don't know each other.
And I guess like for example, like here is. I guess now with like lots of, because of the weather and like what type of city this is, there's lots of people coming in like from all over the world. But like in Nigeria, that was something that I like. We have 200 languages. There's so many different tribes, so many different cultures, so many different religions. So I just grew up being around like people from all over the world. So to me, it's very normal that you and this person disagree something so severe, but you can eat on the same table together. You can like, because that's the whole point. There was not like, oh, this person disagrees on this one opinion, so I'll never talk to you again or whatever. That if it was like that, I wouldn't have brothers or sisters or like cousins.
You wouldn't even talk to
like,
your family ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk to them at all. But like the fact that like finding common ground, that's the point of community. That's quite literally.
And that's how also
That's
how
the
you change
work.
people's opinions as well, is and how you help them see a different side of things is by having that common
and
ground.
sometimes you learn a different
And you
side.
learn a different side too.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
When people feel like when you're isolated and in echo chambers, sometimes you feel like you more than you think.
Oh, totally.
You
We
know,
all feel
until
like we
you
know
like
more.
go and be with people. Like even coming here opened my eyes so much to like another side of the world that I'd never seen before, and I had to be humble and be like, okay, I don't know as much as I thought I did. I'm still learning, and I had to absorb. I had to go to places that I wasn't like comfortable with or familiar with.
Yeah.
You know? I
Totally.
walk into a place, I'm like the only black guy there by a mile.
Yeah.
And it's
Literally.
like I had to like be like, you know what I mean, I'm here, okay, so what?
Yeah.
and that's how I learned the culture. That's how I like learn about people, and that's how even like with the music, like going to where like the house parties that we're having, the jams that we're having, just seeing okay, what exactly is like what makes people tick, like what makes people dance, what makes people want to like have a good time, what kind of sounds they like. Then I started infusing a lot of the jazz influence from Victoria into my Afrobeat sound.
Yeah, which is a smart move. Yeah,
and I think it's working out good.
Totally. I've watched
Doing
your,
okay.
I've watched your like your like evolution since you were like
You
super
really
new
have,
in
eh?
town. Been like, I don't remember how I stumbled across you or we stumbled across each other, but I've just been like, hell yeah, like in the corner ever since. And I'm just like, I've been watching it and I've been seeing that evolution and just seeing how like tight and interesting and intricate and unique your sound has like changed over.
It really has.
Yeah, and just the confidence too, like seeing this like sense of, because it is daunting to be in a new place where you are you are like
daunting.
in a stark minority in comparison, you know, and where you are the only person of color who walks into the room and it's this party's a whole lot of white. Let me just fucking let's get
I've
some
never
rhythm
thought
in
of
this
that.
shit, you know.
Wish
But
it was different.
I just I've heard from other friends as well, just you know what it's like to walk in and just the whole like not if there's one other person in the room like you're like, oh, what's up, hey, yeah. Danny always talks about that. It's true, I've heard it, but it's the thing. So I get it, and then it's as in your music when you're like, I'm showing you part of who I am, and you're like, I want to really connect and show who I am, but also then I'm like absorbing where I am and putting that into my music, and it's cool to see how that's like progressed.
And it's
Very
vulnerability too,
vulnerable.
because okay, now I have to show you not only because when I'm like in a place like that where you're the minority, the natural human instinct is to blend in.
Yeah.
But there I am with my shades
gotta
and my
stand out.
do-rag and
The
banging on
shades.
these drums
Oh,
and
dude.
playing these like strange rhythms and stuff
Yeah,
like
hell
that.
yeah.
Like I have to be very vulnerable on stage and be
Yeah.
like, okay, like this is actually the type of music I play, and that vulnerability is something I've had to learn over the last couple of years.
It's hard to resist the urge to just blend in.
Yeah.
Totally.
It really
just,
is.
Do you feel like Victoria? I feel like there must have been a need for more of that, though. There's such a need for diversity here. That do you feel like your sounds were welcomed? Did
My sound is welcomed. I feel like people are intrigued by it. When they hear it, they're like, "What's that?" Which is good enough for me.
I feel like if it's one thing for it to be welcomed and to be like received, and another thing to feel like it's supported. And whereas I feel like there's not, especially as someone who's seen the other side of different festival networks and stuff, is that a lot of the time newer sounds aren't as supported, different sounds aren't as supported.
Yeah.
And like that jazz sound is very supported here. It's very
Yeah.
like,
People love jazz.
they
here.
love
So
jazz.
many
People love
nerds.
jazz here, and I was just like,
Nerds.
they love jazz here, and I was like, okay, like jazz is very. If you go back to the roots of Afrobeat with Fela Kuti, with King Sunny Ade, and like a bunch of Nigerian Ibo Taylor from Ghana, if you hear their music, it is so jazz influenced. And we played a different type of jazz, which is like the beats, the foundation, which is the drums, is different from the traditional swing jazz that they have here. So then I was like, okay, since these guys like jazz, I'll show you the type of jazz we play. And that's the interesting crossover. Like when you hear this album, it's very jazz influenced. Like you're heavy on the jazz, but it still has my roots in neo soul, my roots in R&B, my roots in gospel, my roots in Afro beats. And yeah, for me, with the whole thing going back to, so you're talking about like new sounds and stuff, I just think that sometimes you just gotta earn your place. You have to build trust with people. People won't just accept you just because. And I feel like with musicians, sometimes you're just like, my art is amazing, but sometimes you gotta build trust with people.
Yeah,
Now if
they
I
want to
drop
know
a
you as a
record,
person around.
yeah,
here.
if I drop a
people
record
wanna
now,
connect
people
with you.
want to. There's people that are waiting to.
Yeah.
Before I even like drop, and it
They're
wasn't like
waiting to
that before.
pre-save. They're like, yeah, that's the thing.
But-
There's you have to hear it feels like people are ready to support your music, but they want to know you as a person a little bit, you know, so they can connect to it better.
They want to connect with you, and it just comes with time. Like it's like every relationship. If I just met this person, it would take a couple of months for me to know the ins and out of the person.
Yeah.
And then like with an artist, you have to do that through the music. And the only way
Absolutely.
to do that is to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And curious. I feel like creativity helps encourage like a curious perspective, building community and just like making art and like adapting to new environments. So I'm like totally echoing your whenever you move to a new place, like latching onto music as like such a tool to guide you to like the people that you're gonna vibe with,
absolutely.
and just like breaking right into that vulnerable space right away. It doesn't matter what language people speak. It's you're speaking the language of music, and it like helps break down so many barriers so quickly.
No, for sure. I remember the first gigs we did. It was Random Collective at your old house.
The groove.
The groove nest. That's when I was like, because I was playing the same rhythms that I used to play back home, and I saw the same reaction. Like then I was like, oh, you know, it's just music. It doesn't matter who you play it to, because I'd play it's the same beats and stuff that I was practicing. And I used to play in church and in all these places and stuff like that would make people dance and stuff. And then I came here and I saw the way people would move. I would just literally, my head would be down. I'd look up and the whole room would just be on like flying. And I was like, oh, music is it. Like that's what breaks the barriers. That's what connects different. Like it doesn't matter like where you come, when you hear it, you can't resist it. You just can't resist
That's
it.
why
You can't resist
loved
TK.
you can't.
I'm just a vessel for the
I'm always
music.
come running across the square. So even when I'm busy at Fernfest, I always make sure to run over and be like,
I
love you, I'm listening.
I think something that I also really appreciate and relate to in the way that you experience music is you're very joyful
Oh
experience
yeah,
of it.
I see that too.
And that's what actually makes something more digestible for me than just like hoity-toity, like
I have so many
good.
skills, yeah.
And it's just like I'm having so much fun right now.
I do be having.
Yeah, you do be
That's
having
one
the
thing I love.
most fun.
One of the things I love
and
about
people love watching that.
I love.
that's one
I
of the
be
things I
having
love about
so
certain
much
artists.
fun.
Tyler even too, who is both a very skilled guitarist, like a very skilled guitarist. One of the things I love about watching him is that he looks like he goes to another planet while he plays. Like he's having so much fun, and it's not so much like smile ear to ear fun. It's like I'm on another level planet. Like I'm gone into outer space. The
It's
guitar is here,
genuine.
my hands are here, but my brain is
It's
like on a
genuine.
cloud. somewhere else. And that is cool to just see people getting into it. I connect with that so much more. And I feel like music's such a language of connection. And also, like, in my experience, like, I've connected to people through learning parts of their language in a song to sing it with them or back. Like, I love that aspect of it too.
Totally. I also think it's really cool to hear, like, the journey that you've been on, and that Victoria's been a place where you can grow. Yes, you've had to, like, slowly migrate more to Vancouver and stuff. I want to seize this opportunity in this community right now because it is possible at all. And I love that you keep coming back to Vic. And
Oh no, I love it.
yeah, like, it's home. Yeah, but that's
It's
crazy.
a good vibe.
It's a
Pretty
pretty.
vibe.
This is
It's a pretty.
home. Honestly, like, Vancouver is great. Don't get me wrong. And it's just, I go there not because I'm like trying to. I go there just because there's just more opportunities. There's just more shows. There's more festivals and stuff like that. And there's more people that love the sound that we're making. So that's why I go there. But this is home for sure. Like, Victoria, this is where it's at. I can I could die here.
I know. I love it here.
Hell
I can stay here forever. I love it. Like, just sometimes I just walk outside and I'm like, this is it, bro.
I know there's so often where I just am looking at something and I'm like, the novelty will never wear off.
It'll never.
I've been
It's a
here so
beautiful
long,
island.
and the oven. I still have so many times where I'm like, man, this is gorgeous. Even just like driving to Langford on the highway the other day, the sun was setting in a way that I was like, that's beautiful. This
That's
is,
a
I
lot
just
better
like
than
I'm
the
never
401
gonna
in
be.
a fucking snowstorm.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I think that as a music community, that's our advantage. Because people always talking about the East Coast, and I'm like, they have terrible weather. If we can come together, and for example, now in Nigeria during the Christmas season, it's a festival period. There's something in Lagos they call Dirty December, where basically a lot of people go and they just party the whole Christmas period, and they do this mainly because of the weather. Like, you can't do stuff like that here because it's so cold. But the West Coast just had so much better weather. We could have way more festivals. We could have people coming in here. Like, this place could be like a hub for performing artists.
I know. I
because-
wanted
It's
to be that so
sustainable.
because
bad.
it's just we can
Yeah.
be outside
Yeah.
for 6-8 months.
What's the fastest
True.
growing place in Canada?
Yeah,
Which
so
is a little
I
nerve-wracking
genuinely
for
think
them.
that that's an advantage we have.
It is an
You know?
advantage we have, and our fucking municipality needs to support the
Yeah.
musicians that are pulling people here and the artists that bring people here. But just in terms of the novelty of Victoria, I wanted to share this story once I got a microphone in front of me because it was like the best Victoria day I've had in a long time. Basically, I woke up, I went to go check out a new venue with this really adorable Indian family. They're trying to rent out their like banquet hall as like a music venue. Brainstorming with them, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bike home. And then I start biking, and then I bike, and I see you just sitting there. It's a Sunday morning, smoking the fattest joint I've ever seen. And I'm just biking, and I'm like, skirt, turn around, back up my bicycle, and I'm like, hello. And I just see TK, and you're like, so chill. And I was like, yeah, that's what I need. And like, it's island time.
Then we just talked for an hour.
Yeah,
did,
that's
and
the
I
best
got
thing.
so high. I was trying to play it chill, bro. Okay, so after that,
I was
I'm-
trying to play it chill.
I was not being chill though, because I was poking him. I
Trying
was
to
like,
imagine you trying to be chill.
I was like,
That situation.
how much money do you make?
I was trying to play it chill by asking you your net worth, like just
Literally, and he kept
Just a
laughing
very
at me and not
casual,
answering,
probing
so I was like,
question.
higher or lower, hot, warmer, colder. Anyway, so then I'm like, I need to leave this conversation because I don't know how to engage with humanity. So I just went on. I went on a
I
walk
think I
to
gotta
Cook
get out of here
Street
and get some
Village.
cottage cheese.
And I went to an old lady's clothing store and I tried on 7 different hats. And
Coping mechanism is hilarious.
I can't like-
deal with humanity. Let me go put on 7 different hats.
this was me like, I don't normally do this, but I was like, I'm just going to savor
Wait, was
what
that the day
Victoria
you showed
gives
up with the
me.
fuzzy tooth?
Yes. So I fucking go into this store and this lady and I bond so hard because
Oh
I'm
my
like so
God.
stoned and I'm like, oh, it's just the softest hat I've ever experienced.
That's the first thing you said to me when I saw you. Was like, I just found the softest hat of my life.
It was the best day ever. TK, you blessed me that day because
Oh,
like
that's
I
funny.
needed to
That's
slow
amazing.
down, and you're always in that chill space. I like
Not always.
No,
you
but,
just
like,
caught me on a good
you
day.
were.
Good day and a good
You
doobie.
caught
But
me.
it was a
Yeah.
perfect day. It was a great.
It was a great day. That's the thing, and this city allows you to do that. Like
Yeah,
this thing,
savor
it
it.
has a space, bro. In Vancouver, it's like a 1 a.m. and there's no. It's still noisy. Like it's like
Yeah.
I can't live here, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I
too
like living
much.
where I live, even when like just it's a nice balance of being in loud venues, and then I come out here and all the frogs and stuff. It's like an
Stuff is just
orchestra of
chirping
frogs
and stuff is
you can hear this, see the stars and everything.
and that's when you hear the music. This is this quiet times. That's where you hear the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Where you grew up, was it loud and busy and chaotic? And is that why you hate
Very,
it?
very. Well, I don't
Yeah.
hate where I grew up.
Not where you grew up, but like noise. Like you see.
Oh,
peace
noise!
and,
I see.
like,
Oh yeah, no.
stillness. Yeah.
My house is
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah.
bro. It was like I would say like an average day, like 20 something people living in my house on an average day.
wild.
Sometimes it'd go up to 30. My father and his billions family members, cousin, this. That. It's just a very communal space, which has its advantages, but it also has disadvantages. What I used to do, I would like. This is how I really
not
got
much
into
privacy in that
Yeah, no,
situation.
there was not a lot of privacy. I would go to sometimes I'd like sleep in the car at night with my headphones on and just listening to like old gospel tunes from like Kirk Franklin and J Moss, and that's how I learned like harmony and arrangements and stuff, because that they were going off in the church back in those days. Like they were like musicians,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Oh,
proper
yeah.
like jazz musicians and stuff like that. So that's where that was my lesson. The house was so noisy. I would just go somewhere, put my headphones on, cover myself with the blanket. My mother would be like, "Don't sleep with those things; it'll choke you at night and stuff like that," because of like the
You're like,
wires
"It's
and
worth
stuff.
it.
And I
It's
just
worth
that's how I escaped the noise.
Yeah.
It was the music.
And
It
I
helped me.
remember you sharing a story about sneaking out to play drums.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah.
My parents did not want me to play music at the time because they thought it was distracting. They didn't really want me to do any art at all.
What do they want you to be an engineer?
Came here to study medicine.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I initially
Whoops.
came to Whoopsie. I deliver the medicine of music.
Yeah. In your soul. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. I do feel like the music we make heals people.
I think so too.
100%.
Music has
Nice.
definitely saved my life many times over and healed me
Yes.
from a lot of things. For
Yeah,
sure.
but like, no, they weren't a big fan of this whole thing.
Yeah, and you had to do it all in secret.
I did
right?
have to like teach myself. I had to learn. I had to teach myself the drums. I forced myself into the choir. I remember my mother said no, and I just went anyways. I just had like I just couldn't be like. It felt like stopping me from breathing. That's how like intense the passion was. Like from a young age, it was so intense. Like that was the thing that was always, even when I would try and push it away and stuff like that, it just kept coming back up over and over again. And then after some certain things happened in my life a couple of years ago, I was just like,
This is what I meant to
wanna
do. Yeah.
And how was it a coincidence that like this town that you ended up moving to in Canada happened to have a like pretty dope music scene? Or
No,
did
I
you
think I would have
know?
found it anyway.
You would have
I
found
went,
it, but like
yeah.
Victoria's music scene.
But I'm glad I found it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just
Yeah.
a coincidence.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
find it anywhere. You'd make it anywhere. But yeah, we have this unique thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
why-
I've heard from people who've spent a lot of time in Montreal that like Montreal has a great music scene, but it's a different sense of like it's not as apparently as like community minded.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so dense that like you form miniature communities, but like because there's so much density, it doesn't call for the same amount of accountability to each other, because you can just go find another band in like 20 minutes. So there
Especially
isn't.
because some of the music there, sorry for cutting
That's
off,
okay.
is commercialized. So
Exactly.
they're very like even in Vancouver, I've seen
Oh, yeah,
it
in
too. Like
Toronto.
when I try and get in some spaces, they're very like. I don't understand that stuff, man. I'm like, what are we doing here, bro?
Yeah, why
you
are
make
we
music, I
making
make
music?
music.
Yeah.
Let's chill, bro. You know. What
That's
I'm
how I
saying?
am too. I'm like, we
Yeah.
all musicians. Why does it
Yeah,
matter
so you know what I'm saying?
how
That's
many
so
followers you have
vulnerable.
or whatever? you
I
know?
guess if people really I've noticed that people really have their walls up, and I'm like, you're hindering yourself as a musician.
Yeah, you're really missing out on life in general
Well,
too.
they're
The
trying
more
to
walls you
protect
have
it.
up.
And it's so obvious, like people's shadows and like their demons come through when you're asking someone to be vulnerable. And I feel like people need to protect it because it's so sacred, but like it's made for sharing. But you can burn out really easily too. So I feel like there's that balance there that everyone's trying to strike. And
Yeah, no,
it
for
makes
sure.
sense that like in the creative world, people are fucking sensitive. You know, and
Yeah,
like
well, a bunch of sensitive
everyone's
bitches.
exactly. We're all just trying to figure shit out, and we're the ones talking about how we're actually feeling. We're the ones like expressing the genuine experience of life, and that calls for like really intense emotions that usually calls for really intense people.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
a very intense person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I always say
got the big feels.
I'm super chalant. There's no
Yeah.
nonchalant about me. I'm chalant as fuck. I don't know what to tell you.
The
Yeah,
chalant.
that's when you were saying, "Go, you're a chill guy." I'm like, yeah, like on a good day, but like, I'm very intense.
You're a bit of a diva. I like that about you. I respect a
I'm
diva.
Nigerian.
Takes one to
If
know.
if you stay around Nigerians, you understand me.
Yeah.
We're all like this.
Yeah.
I've known a few.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Is
That's
it like the
funny.
Italians of Africa?
We are the Nigerians of Africa.
The Nigerians.
The Italians are the Nigerians of Europe.
That's funny.
And that's the Nigerian side of me coming out again.
That's funny.
But no, I can
I
be
like it.
like for before shows and stuff. Like I can rehearse like one song like 100 times over.
Yeah.
I can like I have just like it's the same obsession I had as a child. It
Totally.
never went away. It never went away. Even
Well,
till
you're just fueling it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
The
The more you do it, the
do
crazy
it.
because I'm like, oh shit, I can go deeper. Oh yeah, I can go deeper.
It's-
I can hear
do
how big this
I
can be.
hear how
Yeah.
big this can be. I can hear music in like more dimension now. The more,
You
the
train
better
the
I get at
muscle.
it. Yeah, I'm really training the
Yeah,
muscle.
yeah.
So then when you start seeing results, you get addicted. You're like, okay, so how far can this really go? If I keep like working at it and tweaking it, like how far? And
Was there like a first moment where you felt that, where you saw the results of it?
honestly, from the very first, I remember the first time I ever played because I didn't have any resources for music. Like when I tell you I had buckets and a stick and that is what I learned on, I had nothing.
Hell yeah.
I remember the first time I played a hip hop groove on the drums. I've been just hanking at the drums, not knowing where. I didn't know there was no YouTube at the time or nothing. I didn't have a tutor or whatever. And then I played the and it, like I got it right. Like my hand hit where it was supposed to hit. The right hand, the left hand, and the kick all did what it was supposed to do. And that beat came together.
Yeah.
I lost it. Like I don't. It was like my brain went,
Huh?
"Oh my god! I
That's
don't.
so
I can't believe
cool.
I just did that." And it just created a
Like that
lifelong.
in like movies when there's a first kiss and the fireworks goes off.
go-
That's TK's first
that,
drum beat
that was
moment.
me. That was me.
Like I'm in
Like,
love.
I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe I just did that. And it just created a lifelong addiction. Now it's like I watch a crazy video. I'm like, okay, I'm replicating that. And then
And
some
let me
of
sit
those
down and
things
make
I
this
have to
happen.
practice for 8 months to get it.
Yeah.
And I'm at work like tapping my hands like this. I'm on the bus practicing
Yep.
my foot independence.
But
Yeah.
it's like
It's,
a purpose, right?
yeah,
and
it's
when,
my
when
purpose
you
for
can
sure.
connect it to like actual genuine purpose, it fuels it so much more. And I feel like so many people like don't validate music or art enough
Oh,
as a
God, yeah.
purpose, but look how much life it gives you.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure,
more people need
bro.
to
I will
know
never
that.
forget this one day. Right, I was playing the show in Vancouver. I won't mention the show, but the pay was not great. It was not great,
How much
and
did you
like,
make? How much did you make?
yeah, we're not high enough for that conversation. And the pay wasn't great, but it was like, okay, I would pay everybody, and I would like barely break even. And I was like, oh, whatever, it's a good gig, whatever. But then I was so excited going to the gig. I was like literally like a child. And then I went back to work the next week and I was so depressed. And I was like, this thing is paying me all this money and it makes me feel dead. And then there's this thing here that I'm
Pays
You
me
can see
nothing.
something's not
so
working
then you're like,
lined
doing,
up.
exactly.
I felt
Then,
the same
so
way.
then your brain starts being like, something is wrong
Something-
here. You can't convince me
That this is what we're
that
supposed
this
to be
is
doing.
what you
Yeah.
can't. I'm sorry. There's nothing
Yeah.
you can tell me
I hit
to
that wall.
convince
And the
I
me
hit that wall before
that
COVID
this
and left
makes
my office
sense.
job. Same,
Yeah.
same
Me
exact
too.
feeling.
Me
this
too.
shit does not. The
I was like,
fact
this
that
doesn't
I
make sense.
yeah.
I'm depressed. This is I'm not happy. Like I'm like, oh, I can survive, but I'm miserable
And
and
people
I'm
take
like
pride
unhealthy.
in pushing through that.
Yeah.
Like they've
Mm.
normalized
Yeah.
that as what
The
we're
norm.
going for.
No, they tell you that if you don't see that as normal, you're a failure.
Exactly.
Like, you-
and,
Or
you're just lazy.
and artists ourselves
Yeah.
will like not believe that like
Which
we
is
can
hilarious
make a
because you
living
think
in
art
that
is making art
profession.
is lazy. That's fucking laughable.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
the amount of work that goes into it is
You-
It's a
Yes.
luxury. People
Yeah,
think
no.
it's a
Some
luxury.
people like they feel like, oh yeah, this person is like lazy, because I have to play 3 shows on the weekend and come here on Monday. Like you
Also,
don't
I have a full-time job.
on
Like
top of
all
yeah,
of that practicing.
all of the
Yeah.
practicing, all of the rehearsals. You're trying to
The
juggle things.
managing.
From when I was in school. I was studying, doing school and this music
Yeah,
at
it
the
was out of
time.
the house.
I was going
guy.
through it. I was
Yeah.
so exhausted
so
for
happy
real.
when
Yeah, I
finish
feel like
that.
you were just going hard. So
Yeah,
hard.
I was, but
Not be in this conversation right now.
yeah,
You would be, like, locked
yeah,
studying.
I would. There was be
Mhm.
periods where I was just going through it.
Yeah,
but
that's why it was nice to see you on the street, just like hanging out. I was like, oh, this man has free time. I'm gonna share it with him.
Yeah, but that's the sacrifice, because I'm
Yeah.
so obsessed that I refuse to park my dreams for somebody else's work. I can't be like, oh yeah, I will do it in 5 years, bro. 5 years, you don't know where you're gonna be. You don't.
Yeah,
know
and your
what's-
life is about the memories you make, not how many years you stayed at a job.
Yeah.
But also all of that in between time, if you were using all of those moments, but then also you have to balance it with not always being focused on like the productivity of it. And that's why joy comes in. It's like the fun, the play. You have to
Doing it
hold
for
on
the
to
love of
that
it.
or the whole thing turns
And that's
into
why
a
those
slog.
moments of it's not a ton of money, but I'm here because I love it.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I was just like, it made me really think. The happiness, you have to really sit down when your body feels such certain strong emotions. You have to
Totally.
sit down and process it. Like,
Yeah.
why am I so happy?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Like, am I
Same
like
thing.
dumb? Like, I'm heading to this thing where I'm losing money and I'm
Yeah.
happy. Is something wrong with me?
Yeah, I feel the same way all the time. Where I'm like, should I be trying harder to not be this broke?
You
But
know what
like,
I'm
also,
saying?
I like really love what I do,
Yeah.
and if I take on other things that will make me less broke, I can't do as many other things in the
Who the
community, and that's what I like to do. That's what I want to do.
I think I am to be having such a goddamn good time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm here
And
for.
it shows you
I'm-
that the human body requires
Joy.
intrinsic motivations, things that are
Purpose, yeah.
external. Like, we've just built these weird complex systems when the body just says, give me water, give me music, and give me sleep. And but that's what hippies
Give
are
me
on.
water,
So I'm
give
like,
me
I don't
sleep,
understand
give me
why
love,
people
give
don't
me
like
food.
them.
I don't think
Because
people
they
know it's
represent-
an option.
But people have always been against it because they represent the part of themselves that they stifle, right? That group, that culture, the festival culture, the people who embrace their weirdness, like they embrace a part of themselves that other
Their
people they
kiss,
could,
curiosity,
and
yeah.
but they've been sucked into that world
I
of
guess
like doing
so.
what they should.
I guess you're
And
right.
so it's easier to like dislike something than to admit you really wish you could be part of that. Like, but you,
which is
you
very
know.
sad.
Yeah,
Totally.
it is one of those things.
Yeah, the world
know.
definitely doesn't make it easy to like.
The world does not make it
No.
easy.
No,
Which
I
is
was
why I
telling
think-
Rowan the other day, I was like, imagine a doctor is like going to work and then they're like, oh, thank you for your service, and now you have to find something that pays the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Or you have to collect tips
you
from
have
all
to
your
collect
patients.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what
my
I'm
God,
saying?
could you imagine
It's
if at the
like,
end of a hospital
please
visit,
donate to the
you get the
doctors.
tip thing?
They're working so
the
hard.
doctors work so hard.
Oh, just
Tip them.
donate. Make sure you tip them. It's
Follow
so
me on
crazy.
Instagram.
They don't say that thing
Yeah.
for anything.
No.
It just shows you where society puts art.
Yeah.
But then again,
But then they all
at a
wanna consume
festival,
it.
exactly.
They're like creative.
There are
for us.
doctors at the
we want to
festival.
consume movies. We want to
There are
consume
engineers at
Yep.
the festivals.
Yep.
There are veterinarians at the festivals.
The doctors
There
at the festivals party harder than
Yeah,
anybody
but I'm
else. I
telling
fucking,
you.
it's
That's
crazy.
actually true.
Yeah, dude. I
Yeah,
have
because they got the
yeah.
good drugs.
Jesus.
No,
So for me, it's
they
like
just know how to chemically combo them.
Like, they do. That's what I'm saying.
Well, with that little gardening interruption, we bring you to our segment, Have You Heard?, where we show you a little piece of our Victoria music scene. And of course, this time, with an album release coming, it obviously makes sense to show you one of TK's songs from the upcoming album. With his permission, we are showing you Golden Child, which will be one of the singles on the album. The album art, everything that went into making this album, and the vulnerable, raw sharing of the journey that is A Journey Under the Stars is a wonderful thing from TK that lets us see more of himself through this music. And I for one, have enjoyed having a sneak peek at the album, and I cannot wait to see the hype for it when it is released on the 16th. Please make sure you get tickets to the Coda to see the show May 16th. Support your local album release shows and your artists, and go and pre-save or save the album when it comes out and listen to it and play the rest of what you're going to hear a sneak peek of today, which is Golden Child. So without further ado, here is Golden Child by TK the Artist from A Journey Under the Stars.
I've been at the the studio for 10 days. This type of perfect only come with years of practice. I've been talking to my lady, to my mama, to my homies out in Kenya. They be telling me the same thing. Oh, it's such a special feeling when you finally get your head up out the deep end. Travel from home to make my name. I held my own, I did my thing, and now we're here. Singing, dancing, laughing, cameras flashing at me from every direction. It's crazy, but look how I own this shit. Now watch me do my dance. Starting to know these fools, yeah. God and all is so divine, you can't refuse. Cause I'm a golden child, nah. And no one can take my shine. You know if you kill my fame, cause I'm a golden child.
And that is Golden Child from TK the Artist on Have You Heard, courtesy of Squish Podcast. We want to hear all of the music that you have going on, so please tell us what you're working on. Hit us up if you want to be on the podcast. Share your music with us. We love you and we want to support you. Go to the show, May 16th, Dakota. Go download the album, A Journey Under the Stars. Support TK the Artist and all the other artists in our hometown that are doing their thing. We love you, and now back to the squishiness.
If it's something that we all share at the end of the day, then it's important.
Yeah.
It's obviously important.
So
That's the thing,
my
yeah.
question is, how do we normalize it so that we can are living this way?
You just have to be.
You gotta just do it.
You gotta just keep doing it.
You
I
have to
think we
be
all
who
need to
you
keep
are.
talking to each other and like
Mhm.
talking about
to this
and
people that-
working together to create
Mhm.
like an industry standard in the city.
100%.
That's the thing that was
a
like
bunch of
really-
voices together is a powerful thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
be in their faces. You have to
Yeah.
be like, okay,
have to play the
I
game.
make music and this is what I do.
This is what I do.
I went into
Totally,
my
yeah.
job interview and I was trying to look for. I was like, oh, I'm a musician. Like on some weekends I won't be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? People act like these people like own you, bro.
Yeah.
If I die
They don't
now,
own
you just
them. They don't give a
replace
shit.
me
Yeah,
the next
exactly.
week. So
Yeah, I'm in the same vein. I was like, no, I'm a musician. This is that. I have another job. That's how I say it. I already have another job that is like somewhat not full time, but sometimes it is full time. In the summertime, it gets full time. And if you like expect me, you like, and there's jobs that will offer you like shit hours and shit pay and still expect you to be available
to
all
be
the
just
time.
there. Like, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
be
boss.
available every weekend. No,
Yeah.
that's
why,
crazy.
Yeah, that's why I quit working in marketing jobs because like you're endlessly able to like continue perfecting a brand. Like it's endlessly optimizable to be on the phone and just like giving your life away. But now I work with children. It's so fucking grounding because it's just like I'm present. I'm looking at the thing that I'm taking care of. I make sure it's good, cool, and then I can answer all my emails and get shows booked and stuff, which is like such a and like
That's cool.
my boss wants me to be a musician because she wants her kids to be around artists. So she's go play your show. We're gonna come. We're gonna support you. And I've never had that from anyone before.
Yeah,
Even
that's
when I
really
worked
cool.
for an art school,
Yeah.
they like still would be like, oh, you need an extra day off. And it's like it has to come from within the arts community to like take ourselves seriously. And
Oh,
I
yeah, for
want
sure.
to like become more fluent in bureaucracy so that we can help bureaucrats become more fluent in artistry.
artistry, yeah, and I
that's
feel
a
We
that.
good
have to
combination,
meet
yeah.
in
It's
the
important.
middle.
It's very
Yeah, it is
important.
important to me in the
It's
middle.
very important. Like, and on the flip side of what you were saying, Katie, about like how being a musician or being that open with the hippie stuff like scares people or makes them angry because they have shut that part of themselves down. There's the people who see it and are inspired
Exactly.
to want to be an artist. Like
Yeah.
I know people who have just because of watching me being
Yeah.
like, oh, let me just pick up this thing that I
Same,
haven't
yeah.
touched in a while. Let
Yeah.
me just touch
And encouraging people.
Yeah.
And just that's a
they
huge
don't have
part
to
of it.
become a master at it,
No,
but
but
just,
just do
a
it.
form of expression and
That's what I
creativity.
tell everyone about singing. I'm like, you don't
Yeah.
have to be good. It is good for you.
This is my entire
It's good for you, even if you
plot.
suck at it.
Mhm.
Still sing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's a release for your body. It helps chemicals move through your
Right.
brain. It's
Yeah.
literally healing. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
And as far as like jobs that didn't pay well, one time our 17-piece band leg up program played a show at what is now Capitol Ballroom. Back then it was like Sugar, $150. 17-piece to open for 5 Alarm Funk or whatever.
That's like it's
Robbery.
cruel.
It was crazy. Yeah,
It's
it was. We were
cruel.
like, it was an weird opportunity where it was like, as if this band fell through. If you can do this, it was also last minute. It's like we had a crazy turnaround to do this show for them, and it was like, but we really wanted to book like Atomic shows because they were doing Rifflandia, and so we were like,
So you
fine,
guys
we'll
owe
do
me
it.
less than $10.
Yeah, we barely made. We did that
Yeah.
all that the whole everything in that band went into a band fund that none of us saw much of
Yeah.
anyway. So it was like a thing. It didn't matter. But
It's just cruel. That's
was
just
still
very
stupid,
Cruel.
yeah, it's
venues trying
it's
to
crazy.
profit off of artists like the Coda, which we've had a good rant session about. I really can't fucking stand it.
I
And
don't want to hate
that's-
too hard because I know that there's the room to try, and I don't want to
Yes.
burn the.
I know.
I want to make sure there's still an open avenue for dialogue to.
It all has to be from a constructive lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not out here to just like hate on a music venue because it's hard when your business hours are like Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and that's right.
Especially in a city like Victoria, because it's not
Exactly.
like a bustling.
Especially after
like,
COVID, everything got
yeah.
hella quiet and just kept
Yeah.
getting quieter downtown.
Yeah.
And it turned into a ghost town.
Yeah.
I used to not be able to go downtown without running into people like every couple of blocks,
Yeah.
and like now it's like
No,
I run
it's
into
just
more
like-
people in
margin-
Fernwood than I do downtown.
To own these places and run them is so like ridiculous
It's
that the people
crazy.
running them aren't artists. They can't be. They have to be like full-time business like owners.
I've
and
known
stuff.
so many artists who have great dreams of venues who would do a great job running venues,
I
but just don't
know.
have the ability
But
to like.
we
do
do
it.
have the ability if we
Capital.
work together, if we all pooled our resources, if we all worked collectively a little bit more. And that's why I love our community right now, is because like we pull off these events, and like I see those events as like microcosms of all the skills required to run a space.
Oh yeah.
And we're like planning on like eventually like starting a collective space that's like a studio during the day where people artists can sell their art, and at the night it's a venue, because something we were talking about on the way here is there's a lack of third spaces. Yeah, COVID decimated them, but like even rehearsal spaces, multi-purpose spaces that can be used for just art to happen, so that it's not like compounding with like where you live or where you work. Really important to have that alternative
Yeah.
option. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So-
we're saying, because we're talking about trying to build that community. It's also like the culture of it all.
Yeah.
Why I'm so like tight and fluent on the drums is because in church there were like 7 other drummers, and we're all like together, like learning, playing. If this person can't plays for like 10 minutes, somebody comes and takes over and stuff like that. And the only way to do that is to access the kids. Like the children have to learn.
Yeah.
Like you need spaces where children are constantly practicing.
That's why I
Absolutely.
do. That's why I was
Yeah.
passionate to build the youth jam thing
Yeah.
at Fernwood,
Mhm.
because and we got funding to do what we do. I would love to make it a more regular thing, and if I could afford to just run spaces for kids to come and jam and make noises all the time, that was enough to survive on. I would just do that all the time. Okay? That's the society doesn't allow us to do that as much.
No, not as easily, but I feel like there is better avenues for it coming. And I do think that we can facilitate, just like educating ourselves on how to make these things sustainable, because I think a lot of us, like I said, need to become a little bit more bureaucratic, learn how to like gain access to people like Mila who can help you write the grant, or like finding these connections that like can break it all down into like smaller pieces. And then once you do it once, you're like, oh, I did it, and now I can do it again, and I can tell other
And I can
artists
do it
that
better.
we did it. Yeah, and then it can become normalized.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the main thing that showed me is the kids, that I was right, and the kids need it more than ever, and they're so stoked to have it, and they just want more of it, and
such a
it's like,
tool.
and it's so huge, and just watching them go from being a little bit in their shells and a little bit antisocial to just blah 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 being with each other, like having a time,
Yeah.
and just like all exchanging ideas and all collaborating on
Yeah.
each other's song ideas and like jamming together stuff like that. It's been really cool to watch, and that's why I like. I'm in a very full agreement that like you gotta get the youth involved, like have to, because it's also how we're gonna keep it being sustainable here. Because as we
Yeah.
all burn out, if the youth aren't involved, if they don't have spaces to figure it out,
We need to bridge
Yeah,
that gap.
they gotta learn to jam and socialize. Because a lot of them spent their most formative social years locked down in COVID online. Yeah.
Yeah, and not having modern versions of regular spiritual community gatherings that are
Yes.
centered around singing together, and like all of those beautiful practices have been decimated, and there is a healthy way of reconciling that. I feel like the jam space specifically, it's
Yeah.
you're all coming to like authentically like communicate. It's not like band
Jams is
in
my
high
church
school
for
where
sure.
you're just like playing the sheet music, and like you're disconnected and you're in your own little bubble with two other flute players. It's not community oriented at all. It's not spiritual at all. And then you get the kids who like go into musical theater and like they love it, and it's because they're actually expressing themselves.
Yeah.
There needs to be more than just those two options.
Because like you were saying, like creativity is a muscle, and as if you
Totally.
don't train it from a young age, like you will never have it. And people are so used to consuming so much that's you need to rewire their brain to be
It takes
creative.
a lot
Mhm.
more
creative,
work.
to like
Yeah.
produce instead of
Yeah.
constantly just consuming,
Mhm.
just rewiring your
There's
brain.
a step that's lost over time where
Yeah.
we used to have this intrinsic like flow. Like I see a thing, I'm inspired by said thing, I go off and create a thing.
said thing.
And then we somehow have been, the algorithms like caught up to us, and they're like, no, but we want to keep you looking at the things. So then it's figured out a way to suck people deeper into the
Yeah.
next thing and the next thing, and distract you from the inspiration of going to create.
And now
something.
some of the things that you see aren't even inspiring.
No,
they're
now
just like
there's like nonsense.
because
it's brain
like
rot.
now it's just brain rot. Like it's before, it's like you watch something that was like truly like this is something that is unattainable and like trying to get there. And
Yeah.
how do I do it? Your brain starts racking. But like now it's just
But also
nonsense. It's
because
just-
of that nonsense, because of the hypersaturation of it all, it kicks people off of it.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
a lot more
it's making people disconnect and
are
get back to reality.
disconnecting.
Good.
Not like everyone, and it's not
Mm.
like complete. We're all still gonna have to participate with social media and online existence, but I am somewhat
It's a
hopeful
double-edged sword as an
that
artist.
it's like burying itself a little bit because
Yeah.
it's just so much garbage
Yeah.
these days.
It's a
and
double-edged
so
sword
much
as an artist because so
advertising.
much pressure is put on you to have a presence and to be to have
Exactly.
a following on social media.
That's
Like
the only way you're relevant.
I just try for my thing. I just try not to contribute to the noise. If I'm
Yeah.
putting anything out, it's just like stuff that is genuine. Like this is
Totally.
like stuff
Mhm.
that's like part of my journey. If you relate to it, you relate to it.
yeah, same,
I
yeah.
try my best to just not contribute to the noise.
No,
yeah.
I always look
I'm just
forward
like, here's
to
weird
content 'cause you're always
nonsense
just
from
there
my life.
smiling and like loving it. It's
Mhm.
not just like
I wish that was how it was all the
I
time.
know, me too.
That's like I feel like I need to get better at posting like everything, not just the
No.
good sides.
We
of
wear a
it.
good mask.
Yeah.
I do this. It was a practice for me. And then I started just being more vulnerable. And then I realized a lot of people relate to that. And I'm like, sometimes I would be like, this is a cringe overshare thing. And I'm like, I make myself feel embarrassed. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm ADHD, so
second you
I forget.
start
I put it out
caring-
there anyway. So then I'm like, whatever, it's out there now. And then
Whenever-
I get people's feedback being like, they actually really love that nonsense from me because it makes them know me
storytelling.
better.
It's just storytelling. That's what it's
Mhm.
supposed to be. I think it really stands out when it's not authentic storytelling and like you're just posting to post. And it's just the second I start caring too much about it, it gets not fun. So yeah, you gotta just
Yeah, you got to. That's
use
the thing.
spark.
But when
and
I
then,
care
like,
too
keep
much,
it
I just
fun.
won't do it because then I start overanalyzing how
Exactly.
good it should be and how polished it should be, and then I never post the damn thing anyway.
Yeah.
So I just sometimes just word vomit my
But
life
like
at people.
it
Here you
so
go.
much mental space too. Whenever I meet an artist and they're like,
Too
"I'm
much.
so bad at social media," I'm like, "Good." I don't
Mhm.
like it's fun. I love it. Trust me, I've done it as a career for a decade.
Yeah, I'm terrible at
But
it.
I'm just like, that's awesome that you're spending that energy elsewhere. At least don't sweat.
I'm good at
about
being social. I'm bad at media. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's a-
Yeah.
Which is that's what you lose in a world that is oriented to
Yeah.
the timeline type
Mhm.
of things. There's people like you who are like great at being like creating community, but then community has been replaced by those blogs. So
Mhm.
then where does that leave people like you?
I'm just still out here doing my weird shit.
Yeah.
Just out here being my
Finding a
weird self.
podcast.
Still making the community.
That's
The community anywhere I go, however weird
Yeah.
ways I can.
That's
Kind of
amazing.
reason podcasts exist. I feel like
Mhm.
because they're such a like humanly digest, like the speed at which a podcast or like a book is digested is the speed at which a human like processes.
People play this shit at 2 times speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put it-
because
That's how
I
bad
push it
people's
at
attention.
yeah. People.
spans
I
are
push it
now,
at 2 times
bro.
speed all the time.
It's
That's
terrible.
It's a
man.
whole thing.
It's terrible.
I can imagine that's a 2 times speed.
that's how I edit it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like curious on this next part of your artistic journey, what
Yeah,
that's
this new
gonna
pro-
look for you, like this album, how it came together. If you have any fun stories to share about it.
This
Loving what
album-
I've listened to so far. By the way, just
Thank
vibing to
you,
it earlier
thank
today.
you, appreciate it.
Dancing around while I clean my
Yeah. Honestly, this album is the name says, bro. It's a journey, man. Like it was a long journey, and it was a journey of self-discovery. Because really, I was discovering my voice through every song I recorded. Like I was
I
learning.
noticed this.
Yeah,
You can hear
yeah.
the difference in your voice is
Yeah,
so
through-
cool.
Yeah,
This
you
is
can hear
great.
some songs are so different from others,
That's
but when you
great.
listen to it in order, it's
That's
seamless.
cool that you kept the old
Oh,
track.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Because it's important. I was listening to it like I had a private listening party with a bunch of my homies that have been coming to my shows for like years now, and it was like so like rewarding to see. It really was a journey, like just years and years of I'd make something, be like, man, this doesn't sound great. How do I make it sound great? I don't like this. I don't like the way my voice sounds on this. I found Shanice. In fact, let me just start naming everybody, bro. It's gonna be just give me 2 minutes. So I found Shanice through like I was just like Victoria music scene on Instagram or whatever, and when hashtags were still relevant. I was scrolling. I saw this lady just singing like an angel. I messaged her. She didn't reply me for 5 months. She replied me like 5 months later. I figured out later that she was pregnant and she was dealing with childbirth and everything. I go to I go to her house. And then it's just this family of creatives, like Jaden, my producer, helps up her brother. She's a vocal coach. I didn't even know that. And then she just takes me under her wing. She's like, hear potential in your voice. I did not sound like the way I sounded now. Like I could play the records.
You sounded great then too, but I can hear the transformation in your voice.
Yeah,
that's hear the work that you put in.
Yeah. I put in so much work, a lot of work, because like I said, it's just this same childlike obsession I've always had. And at the time I was just like I had all this drive but I just needed direction. And what she helped me do was really streamline. Okay, she heard my voice, she heard the potential of what it could be. She fixed my technique. It took a couple of years, but then I started getting on stage and I could feel what she was talking about with the breath. I could feel the power when I got on stage. So then that opened new possibilities, and then we just kept going and going and going and going.
Yeah, and it's something so huge to have someone that can like take you under your wing like that and really like help pull that out of you and see that in you.
She's huge.
It's one of those things that I could see the drive in you and just knew. I remember when like early on, if people would be like, "Who's TK?" I'm like, "Oh, he's got this fucking hustle. Not gonna stop. Like it will." Now or later, you're gonna hear his shit because he's not gonna stop. Like he's got the hustle like no other.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I tell her all the time. She's probably saved like 10 years of my career, just the way she has taught me to preserve and treat my voice as an instrument.
Gotta take care of it.
The art of mentorship and apprenticeship has been lost, but it's so important.
Yes, it's really important, and that's what for me. I'm trying, like every time I see like a band with potential, I try, even if something as simple as sending them a text message and just being like, "Hey, good work, this is nice," or just something like that. Just because sometimes you're like, "Oh,
that's how you build the community."
That's how you build a community, and
I
then
just reach out to who the fuck ever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, hi.
Because now this person was working on this thing in their basement. They posted, and then this guy is, "Oh, this is great." You know what I'm saying? That just gives you, it takes you out of that basement and shows you that, oh, there's people listening.
100%. And that is the beautiful part of social media. I think
that
is
the beautiful part, because all these people I found, it was through social media. Like Jaden and I now, we're like, they're family to me.
As a community building tool, I love it. There's a lot of toxic shit there, but as a community building tool, it's great because that's how I build and maintain a lot of community. Even though I can't see everyone all the time, I'm checking in. We send each other unhinged voice notes. I'm replying to stories and like supporting and shouting out and hollering. I'm always one message away from for any weird question.
Bad at media, but she out here with the most.
No, post my grid updates once every year. I mean that kind of shit. Like
play hard to get.
Yeah, my grid. I never post on main grid or Insta that much. I don't do the promotion. Like forget to promote my own shit. But I'm that person in the DMs when you like, hey, how do I do this? Or hey, how do I get in touch with this person? Or hey, whatever. Or hey, you want to listen to my song? Tell me what you think or whatever. I'm there. I'm ready. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Show me what's up.
I have 2 questions, and this is for the whole room. My first question is, if you could tell a piece of advice to a young kiddo musician that's like wanting to take it seriously, what would that be? And then the second, I'm going to give you a heads up on it because I want you to think about a really funny story that's happened at one of your shows. Okay.
So firstly, before I answer those, I just want to go back to, I didn't finish naming people. Speaking of mentorship, Caleb Hart has been an angel.
Yeah.
This guy, I remember I was trying to get in touch with him for the longest time. And I was Alvin, my guitar player. I was like, yo, Alvin, you know this guy I've been trying to get to? And he was like, I play soccer with him every Sunday.
Yeah.
Island life.
Yeah, he does soccer, yeah.
And I was like, are you crazy? I've been trying to talk to this guy. He came to one of my Fern Fest shows. And then he was like, wow, these nice stuff. He was like, is the song, is that original? I was like, yeah, that's an original and stuff like that. And then we went for tea this one time. And this guy has just been fighting for me on every front.
Yeah.
There's so many shows that I've gotten. It's just because he's just like, oh, pick this guy. I recommend this dude and stuff like that. And then there's other people like Sade Awele. She's this Nigerian singer from Vancouver who also really took me under her wings. Like she took time out of her day to get on phone calls with me and talk to me and show me the ropes. And those are the two I'll mention for now. Because
Well, Caleb's the first live musician I ever saw in Victoria. I was just like here on vacation 6.5 years ago, and we walked past the park, and he was doing one of those live bike powered shows. And my
Oh, I was
mom
at
and my
those
brother and
shows,
I
at that
just sat
show.
there, and we're like,
he's ridiculous, bro.
He's
He's as a
insane.
musician, like
funny,
this
I
is
think
me
I was
talking
also
to
played that show.
yeah.
6 years ago, Bicycle Fest or whatever.
Yeah, that's as a musician, that's like another different topic. But as a human being, he's
he
an
got it all.
amazing person.
He's like the embodiment again of joy
Of
through
joy.
music.
Mhm.
Like he's like
And
he
vulnerability and
trusts-
honesty.
Yeah, and he like trusts. You can tell when he performs live, he trusts that it's so important. And like when you watch him embody the like music, you're just like, yes, you are like so in your purpose that this is why music exists, and you make me believe that it's like
Just-
worthy of
yeah,
pursuing.
of
And that's
course.
probably why he's such a hustler for you, is because he believes it so fully.
Yeah,
We need people like that.
and I really appreciate
Yeah.
him for sure. I just wanted to say that. Anyways, about the kids.
Yeah, think of the children.
For the
Somebody
children,
think
I would
of the
say the
children.
best advice I would have is just play the music, man.
That's what I think.
Just cut out everything and just go straight to the music. If you like
Yeah.
this song, like when I was younger, I did not things are like tiered and stuff because of like Western educational system. I would go practice the hardest thing and I wouldn't even get close to it.
Yeah.
But it was just like removing the barriers to the music. Like just
Totally.
go straight. If you like the song, listen to it. Why do you like it? What do you like about it? What are the elements of the song? How can you replicate that? What is the thing you like? The vibrancy of the song? Was it in the trumpet? Was it in the keys?
Yeah.
Was it in the guitar solo? Was it in the drums? And just understand music. Music is an art, and you just have to pay attention to it. You have to pay your dues. It's a discipline. It's like a martial arts. It's a form, and you have to just be with the music. Whatever the instruments is just a means to an end. The music is
And
really
live
what it
music
is.
too, 'cause then
Yeah.
you can see it
Yes,
happening.
live music.
Yeah, my thing would be like get out there and meet other people.
Mhm.
Don't wait till you're perfect playing in your basement alone. Go out and meet people.
Because that's how you
Jam.
get better.
Meet with people. That is how you get better. That's how you get out of the comfort zone. That's how you learn to do stuff other than the 6 chords.
That's
of
how
the
you
cover
see
songs you
things that you've
See-
never seen
exactly.
before.
That's how you see
You
things.
know,
that
you
you've
need
and
to-
just get used to the fact that it's not. You're never gonna feel 100% confident when you're getting right out there. Just get out there and be comfortable in the awkward, be comfortable in the weird, be comfortable in the
Sing about
feeling
the
that you
weird.
might suck,
Lean into the weird.
and just keep doing it anyway. Because if we all stopped when we thought we'd suck, none of us would be doing any fucking thing right now. You know what I mean?
Totally.
for sure.
And never forget that it's called playing music. It's all play, and play has like most of play is failing with a
Yeah.
smile.
And don't live under the illusion that someone who's been doing it forever doesn't still feel exactly the way you do when you feel awkward about it. Like my niece, when she was really little, she loved to sing and she liked to play like music and stuff. And I talked to her about fear once about it, and she was like, I was like, what's the deal? And she was like, I will one day when I'm like older and I'm not scared like you. And I was like, oh, you think Auntie Katie's not scared? I'm scared. I'm scared all the time. I do things anyway. Like I do things anyway, even though I'm scared, because then the feeling of doing it, and even though I was scared and knowing that it went well, is a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't go well, then I like feel way more close to making it go well next time, and
You
that's
don't
still a
get
cool
you
feeling.
don't get not scared by not doing it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys something? Because you were talking about the crazy things that happen at
Yeah.
the second
Yes,
question.
yes.
The funny thing. So there's this ritual my brain has with me. Before every show, I have a dream where I'm at the show and something goes wrong.
Oh my god, I've had those dreams.
Like either somebody forgot their guitar, my outfit wasn't ready,
My outfit.
sound check didn't happen in time, or like I got there and didn't have shoes on. I have that every time. Every time I have that dream, I know that there's like a show. That's when I know that I'm ready.
So I know that
Isaac's nightmares. He
It's
shows
like
up
he has
with
with
shoes
shoes
yeah,
on.
yeah. Isaac's like, oh
These
my,
are my
yeah.
feet.
Isaac, I beat my dream. I beat my brain at that one. I just don't ever wear shoes, and I don't have that fear.
So it literally happens before every show, like consistently.
Yeah.
And that's how I know that it's tour season.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, my brain is just like trying to take care of me, being like, oh, have you gotten your shoes? Have you?
I feel like
But
I've
it does that with dreams.
totally
Yeah, I
like,
do.
have broken down the fear into just like being excited, like the fear into excitement until right before I go on stage, and then I just cannot cannot stop
Mhm.
You have to-
so scared.
yeah,
My
nervous
body's
peas.
like evacuate, and I'm like, am I mentally like not
I
that
pee a lot
freaked
because
out?
I drink so much water, so I
Yeah,
can keep my
singing.
vocals like.
That's
See, I don't know
really-
what's wrong. I drink so much water, but then sometimes I will just forget that I have a bladder.
You're a
And then I don't, and then the show
minute.
finally ends, and I'm like, I've had to pee for 8 hours. I'll be back.
Or you're like Danny Jackson just peeing on stage.
No, that's the difference between me and Danny. She's got the ability to do that. I do not.
Speaking of peed, okay, let me answer your question.
Yes.
So there was this
We're here
one-
for
This
this.
is
We had a
great.
whole section of
There was
this.
this one day I had a show, but I had like a lab before it, and it was like a pretty intense lab. So like students do, I popped an Adderall, right? But what does Adderall do? It makes your throat extremely dry.
Oh,
It takes away
God.
all the moisture.
Oh,
So then to compensate, I had like maybe 10 cups of water because no matter what I drank, it wouldn't
You're still
stop.
thirsty. Yeah.
So I was playing the show. I was playing for Dilly Crooner. Oh, which is another person. Man,
Love
I
Dilly.
need like a
I remember
section if you're to just name people.
Totally.
Anyway, so she turns around right before the next song starts, and I'm not there. She's like, "Where's TK?" And you can see everybody's face, like, and I was like, "Bro, I couldn't hold it," so I had to run off stage. And
You
go
just pulled
to
a
the-
road
I
runner. You're
just-
like, "Beep,
I
I'm outta
just,
here."
I was just like, okay, just talk to the crowd, and I just dashed.
Oh my god.
And that was the craziest
So
thing.
funny.
Oh my god. And did you? How long did it take you to come back?
I don't know,
Poor
man.
Danny.
I just
You
know
should
I was.
understand what
Ru-
Danny did. pee
I
on the
was just
stage.
running, man.
That's so
We
funny.
need an emergency. We need to like play in diapers
Oh
sometimes.
my god.
Literally, just get us the depends.
Oh
The
my
depends
God.
for singers line would actually go so hard. I just have to
That is hilarious. Depends for singers.
Oh shit.
Ow.
Yeah, safe to say I never did that again.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
I
I'm always cautious as to stay hydrated, but not have
but
to
not like
run
have
to
to
the
pee
bathroom
while on
yeah,
stage.
set,
That was
yeah.
that was not good.
The
but,
feeling goes away when I get up there. It's like leading up to there. It's like a weird subconscious of my body knows that I'm nervous, even though I'm
Yeah.
not nervous.
I drank too much water. It wasn't going away. It was like it just was
Like
not.
the bladder is,
going.
excuse me,
The
sir,
back
we are
like-
full. You
I'm
cannot
like-
ignore this.
I'm
No.
like, oh, the next song. I don't care about the next song. You need
Yeah,
to go to the
you need to
bathroom
go right now.
The problem with me is that I like get this like nervous need to pee, and I'm usually wearing the stupidest.
Yeah, you're wearing like
outfit.
a
Mhm.
bodysuit head to toe.
bodysuit
Yeah.
with tights
Yeah.
with buttons
Oh,
with like
man.
straps and
Yeah, yeah.
ties, and I'm like,
Yeah.
who do I think I am?
Yeah.
And I'm, like, trying to like make sense of it all.
You just need like a shiwi and a crazy straw under there.
I need one of those for sure. Do you have any crazy show stories?
Oh, a lot of crazy show stories.
I know it's hard to
There's,
think of one like on the
yeah.
spot.
Oh man, there's the shows I've been at, but then there's also shows I've worked and stuff. Like we were at a festival where a guy in a wheelchair crowd surfed himself off the stage.
Amazing.
We're like, this is shit. The craziest shit happens. Like it's
That's
like,
music.
it's yeah, things are always wild and weird and wonderful. And some of the stories we've shared already with Danny and stuff, like some of them are funny. There's been times where I felt like I was gonna black out on stage from holding a note too long and gotten tunnel vision and had to like hold on to a drum cymbal until I could see again. Ashley's looking at me like, "Are you okay? What the fuck's going on?" There's the time I was ill in Vancouver and played that show
Yeah.
in a restaurant that had a skate ramp in it, and that was fun. I
Oh,
thought I was
damn.
gonna throw up the whole time.
Oh my god.
And I was like a zombie, and everyone wanted to be social to me, and I just found a chair in the corner, and
And
I was
this
just,
is
I was
so
literally
good.
like in a
Just
chair in
trying
the
to
corner
get
of the
through
bar,
the
just
show.
like this, and just, oh hi, yeah, just, and if everyone's looking for me, just tell them over here, and that I love them, but I'm not very talkative right now. And I was just like a zombie in the corner, and I remember we had a friend that was there with us, and she was talking to me, and she's like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And I'm like, "I got this. I'll get through it." And we did the set, and I was like, "Oh, thank God I summoned." Sometimes the energy just comes out of somewhere, and you get through it, and then
And then
afterwards I was just a
die.
fucking zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got back to Scram's apartment, and I think I spent half the night just like throwing up.
Yeah.
And then the next day I thought I was fine, but we went to brunch, and I took one bite of it and was like, "No, not fine. There's
No.
a false alarm. I am not okay."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
The taking drugs thing with performing, I'm like, I don't really need to do that anymore. Performing is such a high, and I've had it go awry enough times. Like our
It's
last.
just not sustainable.
Oh, okay. Wait,
not.
actually, I thought of a funnier story
Yeah.
because I didn't consider the. You just reminded me of one because you said taking drugs and performing, and it's something I haven't done in a long time. I don't usually
Yeah.
take drugs and perform, but there was a time we did this show called Windfest. It's like a kite surfing, or like a windsurf, like a whole bunch of like crazy athletic windsurfing people. There's multiple types
The
of
whitest
boards
shit
and
I've ever heard.
yeah, it's very and Dave was the band I was with Danny, and we played this festival a couple times in a row, and one of the times we didn't know what we were in for when we got there. It's like on it was really pretty, but it's like all these, it's very like athletic looking thing, and I'm like, we're such a like party band, like I wonder what this is gonna be like when like the sun goes down and the music starts. Out of nowhere, these people just go from like wetsuits to like weird fucking costumes, and everyone's mangled. I'm like, oh, these people like sport hard and then party harder. This is crazy. And partway through the set, like earlier in the day, we'd already tried, like the band was already eating mushrooms. I had microdosed acid because I was just like, I could trust that more. But somehow that made me the most like coherent one in the moment of like things that were going on. And I just remember feeling like super not on the same page as everyone in the band during the set. And like little things were going wrong, but like no one cared. It was still fun. It wasn't enough to throw anything off too much. But then out of nowhere, there were like multiple. Danny and I kept losing our shit because like we were trying not to laugh, but these guys are showing up in weirder and weirder costumes. There's a dude dressed like the wacky inflatable arm tube guy, and he's just like doing this in front of the stage. And like we're just trying to sing, and we're just like cackling, and then a guy shows up in a giant bear suit, and it's not a suit, it's just a giant bear that he's cut open and climbed inside.
Oh my God.
So it has no like mask like a normal costume would. It's just a stuffed bear that a man is inside of, and it like with the stuffing still in it. I was like, what is this guy doing? And he just rolls up on stage with like, the biggest bag of mushrooms ever and starts like trying to hand them around to the band. And this is while Danny and I are like, we're like singing a ballad, like she's singing Hometown and I'm backing her up.
Oh my God.
And I remember her like going to sing like Hometown Heartache and like laughing because this bear man is there and the tube guy's doing this in the corner and we're all like on different psychedelical trips and just being like, this was a weird show.
Festivals.
One of our bandmates lost
the
his
best.
sandals
they
for
can
the
go
night.
left pretty quick.
Oh, they were
Uh-huh,
there was some times. That was
Yeah.
a fun one.
Last Otherworld. I've already told this story on the podcast, but I definitely
Macrodose.
I macrodosed it. Seth gave me some mushrooms, and I went on an existential journey, and we had to play at 9 that night. So the closer we would get to 9, the more I'd just be like, oh my God, I'm way too high for this show. And I was just like, someone get me something that can sober me up. I remember I looked at Guillaume, and I was just like, do you have any cocaine? And he's like, no. And I was like, I know.
Sober you up.
I was watching this whole thing go down and he looked so unimpressed. He was like, no, I don't. It was very like dad response vibes.
And
from
the way
Guillaume.
that
I can already hear him
he
say
was
it too.
like, no.
I tried to calm myself down and took a CBD gummy.
Yeah,
and
you
then
were
my
looking at me like
body
your
was just
eyes
like,
were wide. You were like, I have to go on soon.
You know what saved me though? Soup.
Broth.
Soup.
Mhm.
How did you get through a show like that? That's crazy.
I
She rocked
literally
out hard. Like
just
she
trusted it, but you can hear in between the songs and the recording, I'm like,
yeah, there's definite moments. I have some videos from that show too, and there's definitely some moments. But you also leaned into it because there were times where like because you were tripping, you
beautiful
were
part of a
like
festival show.
dancing and you were like throwing your coat and your hair around, and it was like a vibe.
Well, that's another thing too. Is like when I get like really
There was a coat that you
psychedelic,
were wearing or something that you were
lots
just
of
doing
layers
this.
really
You were
helps.
Like this, you were like
My
tripping yourself out the
shirt
whole time.
had tassels all over it, and then my other shirt was just cozy and soft, so that I didn't really feel like I was being perceived, and I could just hide in these fun shapes, and that really helped. But it was also like, it was a festival, it was like Otherworld show, and our music's pretty psychedelic, so it really helped. And it's really what I feel like is a superpower is when before you get on stage, you forget everything, you forget your entire set list, and then you get and you're like, it all comes back to you like in the moment. That's such a cool feeling too.
I like start playing and then it's 10 minutes in and then the show is over. That's how
It feels like a blink of an eye sometimes.
Yeah.
just my brain is caught up performing that it forgets to record the memory.
It does. You
Yeah.
black out.
Yeah,
We
yeah, no,
totally
that's
talked
very
about
true,
this.
yeah.
The blackout is real.
That's when you know you're in the zone.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Yeah. What shows are you playing this summer that people can find you
Oh
at?
man, there's lots. I don't know if I'm like they haven't announced some of it
So
yet.
you gotta wait and see.
Yeah, they just announced the Black Music Month thing, which is a dedication to like the roots of like blues and like jazz and like
Nice.
with connection with the history of like black people in like the West and stuff like that, and also reconnecting into this contemporary artists like myself.
It's like you're like, that's black people.
You know what I'm saying? It was, and I was like, hey, I'm sure of my people.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that in Vancouver.
Cool.
And on the 27th of June, and then obviously the release party.
Yeah,
and
May
Yeah, yeah.
16th.
When's that
We're-
again?
We're both playing
next
it
week
one.
Friday on the 16th of May.
Yeah.
At the Coda.
So this is gonna come out
at the
before
lovely
that.
Coda
Yeah,
that we all
speed
love and
edit.
cherish. Yeah.
But yeah, the Figs are gonna play.
The Figs are gonna
Sophia
be there.
Leon.
Sophia Leon and friends are gonna
Yeah.
be there.
They came to our jam
them on the weekend? We had
Yes.
so
Yeah,
much
they're
I saw.
great.
Yeah,
They're lovely.
They're so
they're
fun.
great, man.
They're
They're,
just
they're
lovely
riots.
animals, Yeah.
And then
Make
I'm
it
also
show.
gonna have 2 DJs there. DJ Black Asphalts, which I've known since I
Black
got
Asphalt,
here.
though.
Yes, since I've known that dude since I got here. And then DJ Lala from Ghana, he's gonna be spitting Afrobeats tunes
Sweet.
for the rest of the night after my show. So it's gonna be like a party, like from start to finish. And
That's
Oh,
then
yeah.
awesome.
and then we're gonna be revealing the album cover arts, which was like
Yeah, it looks really
painted
cool.
by Violet Beach for over 9 months. She painted it while we're recording the
beautiful.
album. Yeah, no, I told her the vision I had for it, and she just went off. I just took it to another place that I,
That's
you
a
know.
cool piece of art though to have forever. Just like
Oh,
as a
for
memory of
sure.
your
Like, you should
experience.
see it in person.
I know. I
mean,
want to
is
tell
that
you.
a
Yes.
I look
painting
forward
that you
to
showed
seeing
clips
it.
of the other day?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You see it in person. There's
So
nothing
good.
like it looks great on the screen, but in person it's mesmerizing. It puts you
Wow.
in a trance, like
Wow.
just very,
That's awesome.
very. It's
It's so fun.
deep art.
Putting all of the elements of an album together.
Mhm.
The reason that I got into graphic design, which was what I studied, is because I loved the visual representation of music through album art. I
Mhm.
think it's like such a cool task to put 2 different
Yeah.
mediums together like that.
Because that's like it's like art's sectionality. Like,
Exactly.
you start going through, and then like for me, I would have never painted a picture like that. Like,
Oh yeah.
But as somebody who's dedicated their whole lives to
Yeah, I don't have the paint skills.
representing music through painting.
And
Mine would
hiring-
be like finger paints. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and paying like our community artists to support your art, having
Mm.
it all feed each other. That's such a good feeling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just
That's
wanted
awesome.
to shout out to Violet. Like she just offered to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, no, she really captured the energy of the
Yeah.
album very well. She's such a creative person, lovely human being.
Nice.
Jaden and I worked on this project for a long time.
Yeah.
Great. Jaden is my brother at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alvin as well. We started this together before he moved to Richmond. We wrote the first couple of songs together. We couldn't finish it together, but even the last song, Golden Child, like
He's
played
on
the
it.
guitar and that and stuff like
His
that.
album's amazing.
And yeah, so shout out to everybody. My
Yeah.
beautiful, lovely girlfriend too, who I need to
Oh,
shout out
So cute.
because she has been my rock for years.
She's your DOP,
Hey,
babe.
what's
Your
DOP?
Director of photography.
Over there,
Yeah.
she's the director of everything. Bro. She's
That's
a
it.
DOL, director of my
Yeah.
life. She's been there, like she's been with me for a long time, even before I knew I wanted to do this, and she's trusted me and trusted my
She comes
vision.
to every show.
Yeah,
and
oh,
she's
for
there
sure. She's
for
there. No, she
everything.
Yeah,
loves
she's
music.
lovely,
She
yeah.
loves music. She wants to,
Mhm.
like, she can't wait for the next show.
I
Like,
love that.
I don't think anybody
That's
in
a
that
good
room is
supportive,
going to
yeah.
enjoy that performance more than she will. Like,
Behind every good man, there's a good
Don't
woman supporting the
Yeah.
shit out of it.
Don't lose
Honestly,
that.
like
It's
when I'm
amazing.
like trying to listen through the rehearsal tapes and stuff to plan, she's like trying to like peek in and like trying to hear what we're doing. I'm like, go away! I'm trying to surprise you on the day. I don't want to show you this.
She's
But
so cute.
but yeah, no, she's amazing. She made the poster for the show. She's made multiple of my cover arts. Golden
Yeah.
Child, she made Golden Child the cover arts.
Yeah.
And if you see the cover art, there's like a white painting over my head, and it's because she was pissed at me that day and she wanted to put a big old egg on my head.
I fucking love her for that.
And
I
then she
love her for
goes-
that.
That's what you get.
That's good on you,
That's what
girl.
you get. And then I looked at
for
it, I was
you.
like, man, this shit's fine. But yeah, no, she's
Tell him,
amazing.
girl.
Like for anybody that wants to like, she's a creative, like a multi-dimensional creative. She
Totally.
helped me put my website together. We sat there for a month and just worked on it tirelessly. She was right there. She just showed me what to do. I didn't know stuff about that. She just and we just worked on it together. She helps me do like lots of my outfits for the show. She puts it together and
Because I remember doing shows with you, and it's like TK's been getting dressed for 2 and he comes out in a hoodie, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, she has.
That's because it's 20 minutes of getting dressed in an hour and a bit of smoking a doobie, man. I'm getting ready.
I usually just be stretching. Dude,
No, I
to be
know.
honest. I just be
Like, I'm
doing
back
like
here
I
working
be
on my
doing
shit.
yoga, man.
Hell yeah.
Yo, bro, because
Where's
musicians.
TK? He's back there downward dogging. Just
See,
leave him alone.
that's what I'm really there, just in a child's pose, trying to take my breath in. Because a lot of musicians are in pain because
Oh, yeah,
they don't
we
take care
hurt.
of their body.
Yeah.
You
That's why I
really need to
swim a
take
lot.
it. Yeah, you need to take care of your body, man. This stuff that we do is so intense. Like
Yeah,
drumming
it's
and
right.
singing at the same
And the
time.
energy too. Like we
Yeah.
don't realize the physical manifestation of releasing that much energy and holding
Mhm.
that much energy. In your body
Holding
all the
like
time.
when you're in a room, there's
Uh-huh.
like 200 people.
So much
You have to
energy.
hold their energy for an
Mhm.
hour. You have to control it
lot.
and command it. I get off stage sometimes. I feel like I want to faint. Like I'm so
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Sometimes I compare it to the feeling
Yeah.
of holding a weight above your head for as long as you can.
Yeah,
and
and
then
then just
slowly getting
really-
harder and harder, but you still
Mhm.
just have to hold it.
Mm.
And it can be the lightest weight, but the longer you do that, the harder it is.
The
to
harder
do.
it is to
So
keep
just-
it maintained.
Totally. Yeah, it's important to like when you want to live big to like you have to rest big. You gotta like care
Mhm.
for yourself.
You
big.
really have self-care is so important. Like
Aftercare.
sustainability in this industry, like I was talking about in the car, just too many stories of that person self-caring for their lawn.
They
It's just-
landlord did his weed whacking today,
it's another- oh,
that kind of street.
Hilarious.
They do. One of them mows the lawn, and the other one's like, "Whoop! I better get my mower out."
That's cute. That's
Yeah.
just like men trying to like
It's very King of the Hill
connect.
around here.
Yeah.
They do a lot of driveway talking too in
Yeah.
a row, like King of the Hill. It's very
Yeah. That's really exciting. I'm like really stoked to sit down and listen to it all, and also to be a part of the show is such a
Yeah.
gift. And
I'm glad that you guys are
yeah.
a part of
sounds like
it.
it's
It
gonna
just
be a good
makes
show.
sense.
Yeah. For reference, TK used to be the Figs drummer. We've got a thing with drummers. We pass through them sometimes, but we loved that. That was like our foundational conglomeration as like a unit, and like realizing that like we loved like a house party band that was just like joyful and fun. We matched that vibe 100%.
Oh no, and I
Mhm.
loved it too.
And I
Like
remember-
genuinely, like the only reason why I couldn't do it anymore is just because I physically could
Bro,
not. I loved it too. I love playing with
And
Joe.
it
Like
gifted
I
us
love the parties.
Seth, and Seth
Yeah,
has
so-
just elevated us even
Mm.
more, and it's just all feeding your elevation. It's all
Mhm.
meant to be. And I've just one memory that always comes back to me is at one of our house parties, like finding like the biggest pair of sunglasses I'd ever seen, and just being like, I know who needs these. And I think I remember giving you the sunglasses, and at the same time also giving you a joint. And I was just like, this man's good now. I was like, this is all he needs.
TK has been taken care of. for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. He just needs his shades and he needs a joint, and he's gonna be good.
Yeah, the whole shades thing was because of stage fright. I actually had
Mhm.
terrible stage fright. Like I'd
Interesting.
literally be sick the morning before, just like on the floor, like sick.
Wow.
Just before shows, like
Damn.
terrible. But now I've gotten to a point in my career where I'm very much.
Yeah.
You gotta push
loving
through
it.
it. Yeah.
Fear
I've-
turns to excitement.
I've owned it. Like now, it's not
Mhm.
even fear. It's more like I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stoked to play that, and I think we're also playing Jazz Fest this
Yes,
year. Tofino
yes,
Jazz
yes,
Fest. It's
Tofino
gonna
Jazz
be
Festival,
a
yeah.
sick show. Come out to Tofino the last
Mhm.
weekend of June. And where can people follow you on the line? Because your Instagram is TK.
TK the
artist.
artist with an
artist.
underscore because there's another TK the artist who's a vegan rapper.
rapper.
Vegan
That's
rapper.
funny.
Yeah, people message me, "Are you that
Are you the vegan
guy?"
rapper? No.
Yeah, so TK the artist underscore on Instagram, TK the artist music.com,
Yep.
TK the artist music at gmail.com.
Get your
Uh,
tickets to the
Spotify.
May
Get
16th.
your
show.
tickets to May 16th at the Coda.
Yeah.
It will be a one of a kind event for sure,
It's
and
gonna
the
be
music
groovy.
is great. It's
Yeah.
like,
Just realizing Tofino Jazz Fest is over my birthday weekend, pretty much.
is it now?
Yeah,
You can steal all the band's accommodations and come stay with us.
sure.
Bro, don't say that in public.
All the band's leaving. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay. So
I'll stay
Katie
with
can
you.
come stay with me.
Grady's staying too.
I'll be band photographer / whatever.
Oh, girl, yes,
Mhm.
please. Anyways, yeah, I'm super stoked that you came and chatted. And
Of course, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
it's
is
been
there,
really
is
fun
there
having
a
you.
date that your album's dropping?
Same day
Same day.
of the 16th May.
Okay,
Oh,
and that's
oh,
called
oh.
Journey.
Under the stars.
Under the stars.
Under the
I've
stars.
been really enjoying the sneak peek. It's been
Yes.
fun vibing out to
Thank
it.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. Thank
All right.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Squish,
Thank you for
squish,
being
squish,
here.
Squish, squish.
Squish it out. Yes, I picked the one that was called Mermaid something or other. I was like, yeah, because I took my dad to get his first pedicure the other day.
You're gonna need to get a terabyte hard drive if you're gonna keep filling constantly.
I know, right?
I've got multiple terabytes.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
It all goes off onto the terabyte.
Katie and I are both photographers, so.
We want to thank everyone who made Squish happen. Specifically, we would love to thank Alana Alstrom and Renata Baldwin for the wonderful background music for our intro and outro, as well as all of our vocal squishers who offered your cute little voices.
So adorable. We love you so much.
I want to thank Katie for editing together our intro and outro soundtrack.
And Tash for doing the video editing and a bunch of great graphic design work.
That's right. We're thanking ourselves because we fucking did this, bitch. Yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around, and we hope to catch you on the next episode.
Heck yeah. Thanks to everyone for being part of it.
Love you.
Love you.